interviewed 5 local 6th graders, including 10-year-old Brandon Isariyawongse, as part of a cover piece on the very futuristic-sounding class of 2000. It was a free magazine, a fairly amateur copy, but it flew off newsstands, mostly because it had 2 very loyal readers, my mom and my dad, who scooped up 200 copies between the 2 of them. The magazine published 6 issues before fading into oblivion, but that one piece on 10-year-old Brandon Isariyawongse was quite revealing journalism. When asked to envision his future self, Brandon disclosed to the magazine that one of his major intentions in life was to find one good girl, to prove to her that he was a worthy boy, and to marry her on St. Valentine's Day. When I tease Brandon about Valentine's Day being his favorite holiday, it is in reference to that article. Then again, when I tease Brandon about Valentine's Day being his favorite holiday, I don't think he considers it a joke. 364 days ago, my brother delivered the best man speech at my own wedding, and guaranteed our guests that I would deliver a better speech in Seattle on July 16th, 2011. But as is frequently the case, Brandon is wrong again. Because though he and I are similar in many ways, he is by far the authority in all things romantic and chivalrous. He gets this thing in his email called, quote, romantic tip of the day. Which I think he actually reads, and sometimes prints. Like, I don't think he thinks this is spam. In any case, compared to Brandon, much to my wife's chagrin, I am basically an emotionless, tuxedo-wearing robot, and far less equipped to riff about love than last year's specimen. Nevertheless, the following is what I've learned about what love is from my little brother. You are in preschool in Brownsville, Pennsylvania. You have never associated with a girl your age prior to this. You have a crush on 5 girls in the class. There are only 6 girls total in the class. For you, love is a sheet of ruled-lined paper, folded in half, and then in half again. Inside that paper is a handwritten note, scrawled in number 2 pencil, professing your eternal devotion to your favorite of the 5 objects of your affection. You don't know basic sentence structure or English composition, and so you have your older brother, a 2nd grader with enviable command of the ABCs, compose for you the most earth-shaking love note a 2nd grader's ever written. Words so timeless, the planet stops rotating on its axis. Seasons don't change. It is forever spring. Dear Chrissy, the note begins. I think you're cute. The note nails the spelling of the word cute. Love, Brandon. Powerful stuff on them. And while I admit to being Brandon's Cyrano de Bergerac, the ghostwriter for his love notes, the emotion is my brother's in its purest sense. Because to love, and to want to convey love, is the very essence of who my brother is. You are in medical school in Durham, North Carolina. You have a roommate and a best bud, an aspiring ophthalmologist, whom you have described as your placeholder spouse until the real thing comes along for either. just so happens, the real thing comes along for the ophthalmologist. He's met the girl of his dreams and is planning to propose. For you, love is a wicker picnic basket woven of varnished willow with a corduroy lining. You have purchased and packed the picnic basket yourself with fruits and cheeses, a favorite asparagus sweet potato dish, is that right? And a dessert that has a special meaning for the couple. You have scouted in advance a place in the Carolinas' Blue Ridge Mountains and decorated it with rose petals amongst the picnic scene. You hide behind a tree. The couple arrives. A new union between a man and a woman is spawned before your very eyes. It means the world to you that you could ever play even just a small role. You have played a major role. You remember this day as vividly as any day prior to or since. Because to love and to want to share in love is the very essence of who my brother is. You are a third-year resident in northeastern Ohio, the site of one of the finest urology programs in the nation, in addition to the Cleveland Clinic. Sorry. You frequently find yourself encased in some crazy mix of ice, sleet, and snow with which God is presumably experimenting ahead of Judgment Day. You toil in relative anonymity, approximately 80 hours a week fighting the thorny fight against prostate cancer. But you are nevertheless pretty happy because your mom, your dad, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, not necessarily in that order, are just a 2-hour drive southeast. And you live with your brother, who at the very least, you know will write you love notes on demand, if you should so require. On the other hand, you never feel quite whole. For 6 years, you have lived in Eastern Standard Time. Your heart is in the Pacific. For you, love is a $400 red-eye plane ticket to San Francisco. Several of them, actually, once every 2 or 3 months, roughly. You are never happier than you are when you're in the hospital, on call, overnight, on a Thursday. Because that way, you can catch the early morning non-stop to SFO. You can extend your weekend by 8 hours and 40 minutes. And in San Francisco, every minute is a delicacy. Every moment, bliss. The love of your life, every bit as sweet and thoughtful and smart as you. 10 to 11 times better looking than you. And probably just slightly out of your league, waits for you there. Her incompleteness and yours are mirror images. And when you're together, though most may not have thought it possible, the two of you are even better people. Because to love and to revel in being loved is the very essence of who my brother is. And fortunately, for him, it is the very essence of who Catherine is as well. Finally, you are me. You have been married for 363 days. You have just arrived back to the hotel with your wife and her parents after a boisterous and joyful rehearsal dinner at Salty's on Alki. The city that night sparkled across the bay. You breathed in, and nostalgia filled your lungs. You felt like you died and met all the people you'd meet in heaven without that whole having to die part. Old friends and new from all over the world converged. It was overwhelming. The work week was long already before the transcontinental flight and before the overwhelming emotion of the dinner. You go to pick up your hotel key, exhausted. For you, love is a box of a dozen roses at the front desk, at the embassy suites in Bellevue, last night. Your wife whisks the box up to the room, thinking you're the husband of the year. You, on the other hand, in the haze of a 120-hour work week, don't specifically remember ordering anniversary roses. barely remembered to pack deodorant for the trip. She opens up the box. The flowers are not from you. The card is a congratulatory note from Brandon and Kathy. The room they booked, unbeknownst to you, is a presidential suite. It's the day before their wedding, and amidst the tumult of hosting 260 of their closest friends and family, they have sprung a major act of random generosity. Because to love, and to selflessly love and put others before themselves, is the very essence of who my brother and his newly minted wife are. But of course, I think everybody in this room already knew that. Maybe an emotionless tuxedo-wearing robot can learn a thing or two about love, after all, provided he has the right role model. And so, tonight, high atop the Emerald City, I propose a toast to my brother, perhaps not this evening, the best man, but who in my genuine, heartfelt opinion, has always clearly been the better man. And to his beautiful new bride, and my sister, may you continue to find ways to convey love. May you continue to share in others' love. May you continue to revel in being in love. And may others provide for you the same selfless love that you have provided for them and have provided for us. It is in your honor that I raise my glass tonight. Happy Valentine's Day.